Daily Devotion with Pastor Balla for February 1st, 2021, Special Confirmation Edition, the Sixth Commandment. From Matthew chapter 19, verse 6, Jesus is speaking, "So they are no longer two, but one flesh. What therefore God has joined together, let not man separate." Jesus tells us that marriage is something more than what we just see with our eyes. With our eyes, we see a man and a woman united in marriage, but they're still two people. However, God blesses a man and a woman in a way we don't easily see, as Jesus calls them one flesh. A man and a woman don't make a marriage. God is the one who establishes what is a marriage, and a man and a woman choose to enter what God establishes. This is why we don't see the one flesh, but two people. In the book of Genesis, Moses writes from Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, "So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female, he created them, and God blessed them. And God said to them, 'Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth.'" Please notice that God created people, male and female, with a purpose. And that purpose was to have children. Yes, children. Children take a lot of work, a lot of energy and money to raise for a husband and wife. But remember that God promises to bless a man and woman who enter into marriage. So how long does the blessings of God in marriage last? Jesus reminds us that marriage is only for us while we're here on earth, not in heaven. From Matthew chapter 22, verse 30, "For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are like angels in heaven." So until God separates a couple, which is the death of one or both, the blessings of marriage continue. St. Paul also reminds us in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 8, "To the unmarried and the widows I say that it is good for them to remain single as I am. But if they cannot exercise self-control, they should marry. For it is better to marry than to burn with passion." Some people can remain single without sin driving them away from God. Others need to marry. The passion that St. Paul mentions is used with marriage, not outside of marriage. So the idea of living together without being married is outside of God's plan for marriage. Likewise, having a child without being married is also outside of God's plan for marriage. And while there is forgiveness for these sins and violating God's plan of marriage, the Christian should also be desiring to live within God's plan for marriage. Just as divorce, which is human separation of marriage, is not part of God's plan, but happens because of sin in this world of ours. Yes, marriage is much more than we usually see, as Jesus reminds us in Matthew 19, verse 6. "So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let not man separate." Join me again tomorrow as we hear about a Sabbath healing. God's peace and many blessings be with you. Thank you for watching, and please take an opportunity to share this message with others. If you have enjoyed these dailies of devotions, please consider making a donation to Peace Lutheran Church, 24024 West Main Street, Plainfield, Illinois, 60544. Thank you again for watching.